أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In last lecture, we discussed about the administrative organization of states, in which we discussed executive, governor, uh, today we shall discuss the legislature. अच्छा, ये मुझे कोई बता सकता है कि लास्ट लेक्चर में हमने लेजिस्लेचर पढ़ा था या नहीं पढ़ा था? जी मुनीब. Hello.
सर स्टार्ट करना है लेजिस्लेचर वाला.
Except Nebraska, all state legislatures are bicameral. Upper chamber is called Senate. The lower chamber is called House of Representatives or General Assembly or House of Delegates. The members of the lower chambers are elected directly by the people. The Senate is composed of county representatives. The representation to the county is based on the principle of equality, just like in the Senate of the Congress. The representation to the county is based on the principle of equality in majority of the states. The tenure of lower chamber is 2 years, just like the lower house of the Congress, House of Representatives, also have tenure of 2 years, and that of Senate 4 years in state legislature. Lieutenant Governor presides over the meetings of the Senate, just like the Vice President of USA presides over the meetings of the Senate in Congress. Both the houses enjoy equal powers, but money bills can originate in the chamber only. Thus, upper chamber is not a secondary chamber like legislative functions in Pakistan states, but a second chamber in the real sense of term. तो यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका के अंदर जितनी स्टेट्स हैं उनके एक्सेप्ट नब्रास्का, बाकी 49 स्टेट्स के अंदर बाई कैमरल system of legislature have bicameral means a legislature have two houses or two chambers. The first one is called upper chamber, that is also called the Senate in most of the states. The lower chamber is called House of Representatives in some states and General Assembly in some states or House of Delegates in some other states. So there are three names of the lower house, but the upper house in all states is Senate. The members of the lower house are elected directly by the people. So the numbers of the members of lower house can vary according to the population size of the states, but in Senate of the state legislature, there is principle of equality, just like in the Senate of Congress, where uh, um, two senators come from each state. Tenure of the lower house is in most of the state legislatures is 2 years, and upper house, the Senate, is of 4 years. Judiciary. State courts have their own structure and they do not come under the category of subordinate courts of the Supreme Court of the USA. Every state has a Supreme Court and other subordinate courts of the Justice of Peace. They can decide cases according to state laws and cannot interfere in federal laws. In some states, judges are appointed by the governors, while in others they are elected by the people. The jurisdiction of the state Supreme Courts is mainly original and appellate. The Supreme Court interprets the constitution of the state and tests the validity of laws enacted by the state legislature. It can interpret the federal constitution, laws, treaties, but its judgment is not final in those cases that is subject to the decision of uh, federal court. So, state courts in the states of USA have their own structure. They do not come under the supervision, or you can say they are not subordinate to the Supreme Court of USA, like in Pakistan. The uh, in all provinces we have high courts and subordinate courts, but above all we have Supreme Court of Pakistan, and all courts uh, come uh, under the category of subordinate courts of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, but this is not the case in USA. In USA, all states have their separate uh, structure of state courts. They do not have to do anything with Supreme Court, and they do not come under the category of subordinate courts of the Supreme Court of USA. Interestingly, every state have their own Supreme Court and other subordinate courts to that state Supreme Court. These subordinate courts are called courts justice of peace. Courts of justice of peace. They can decide cases according to state laws and cannot interfere in the federal laws. The subordinate uh, state courts, or you can say courts of justice of peace, can only um, decide cases according to the state laws and they cannot interfere in the federal laws. In some states, the tools of direct democracy, referendum, initiative, and recall have uh, sorry, the jurisdiction of the in some states, judges are appointed by the governors, while in others they are elected by the people. So if you look at the state constitution of all states of USA, in some states judges are appointed by the governor, and in some states judges are directly elected by the people. The jurisdiction of the state Supreme Court is mainly original and appellate. The state Supreme Court have original and appellate jurisdiction, just like Supreme Court of USA have original and appellate jurisdiction. What is original jurisdiction? When a citizen can file a suit directly, that is called directly in the Supreme Court, that is called original jurisdiction. When the citizens of USA are litigant parties in USA, they are not satisfied with the decision of the lower courts, they can file appeals in the Supreme Court, that is called appellate jurisdiction. So Supreme Court have both original and appellate jurisdiction in states. The state Supreme Court interprets the constitution of the state and tests the validity of laws enacted by the legislature. It can interpret federal constitution. So the Supreme Court of state Supreme Court can interpret the constitution of the state and test the validity of laws enacted by the legislature. It can also interpret the federal laws, federal constitution, and treaties made by the federal government with foreign nations. But this interpretation is subject to the decision of federal court. The decisions of the state Supreme Court regarding federal constitution, federal laws, and federal treaties made by the federal government with foreign nations are not final. They are subject to the decision of the federal courts. Local self-government, the next point at page 162, notes I shared. Local bodies play an important role in the USA. In fact, local self-government system is the legacy of the British system. When there were colonies, these institutions existed. Numerous changes have been made and new methods have been adopted. Americans have made political experiments in this field on a very large scale, and one will be simply surprised to see those numerous varieties of institutions there. Generally, they are divided into two categories. The first one is city government, the second one is rural government. Local self-government means the local body system as we have in Pakistan, local body system we have in Punjab, we have local body system in Sindh, Balochistan and KPK. But in all four provinces we have different local bodies system, different laws regarding local bodies made by the legislature, the rules and regulation drawn by the legislature in Local Bodies Act 2019 in Punjab. Similarly, in United States of America, the states also have their local body system. They they derived this system from the Britain, because when the Britons were in government in USA, in Pakistan, India, when these countries were the colonies of the United States, United Kingdom, the British government provided local body system in these colonies as well, and the similar systems were adopted in the colonies when uh, they got independence from the British government. So at, at this moment, or you can say nowadays, the local body system in USA is not as it was at the time when the Britons were in government in USA. They have numerous changes in the local body system, and these changes continue with the passage of time, and they divided this local body system in two categories: city government and rural government. There are various institutions of rural government, city government. First of all, we look at city government. City government, the USA is a country of cities. Cities plays an important role, and every city has a city government or municipality. They take care of the daily needs of the people, that is sanitation, police, education, light, water, justice, etc. In all the cities, we do not find the same pattern of government. There are various forms of government in different cities. Like we have various forms of government in various cities of Pakistan. We have different uh, local body system in Karachi. We have different local body system in Lahore, Islamabad, and Islamabad. Similarly, in USA, they have different, they have various, they have different form of government in different cities. They divided these different form of government into, the first one is mayor council plan. The second one is commission plan, and the third one is city manager plan. These are the different forms of government in cities of United States of America. In the mayor council plan system, there is a mayor and a city council which perform administrative and deliberative functions respectively. Under the commission plan system, people elect 5 commissioners who manage separate departments. Under the city manager plan, there is an elected council who formulate policies and a city manager who performs administrative functions. The rural government, there are various institutions of rural government, like we have a new Local Bodies Act 2019, in which the provincial government of Punjab provided village councils instead of union councils, and town councils and tehsil council, city council, and they abolished the union council, and they abolished the district council from uh, the local bodies system, that uh, those used to be existed in previous government or in previous Local Bodies Act 2013. various institutions of rural government, that is counties, towns, townships, villages, etc. County within its limits function in the field of revenue, law, and peace according to state laws. They also perform judicial function as well as functions of local bodies. There is a county board at the head of a county. Members of the board are elected by the people. Each county is divided into towns, districts, and townships. When the population of a county is increased, it is recognized differently and are called incorporated village, town, borough, or city. One does not find uniformity in the governance of these bodies. Town meeting, moderator, board of trustees, supervisor, etc. are the main organs of a town district. Village government has boards or trustees, mayor of village president as its main organ. Thus, in the field of local government, America has no uniform pattern and experiments are still going on to make them effective and useful. So, in rural government in United States of America, they divided the rural government in counties, towns, townships, villages, etc. And they have a different form of uh, government in rural government, in different villages, and they have different functions, and they have different uh, different uh, designations allotted to the people who are elected by the people of that village to run the affairs of that rural government body. They are uh, they are called board of trustees, supervisors, moderators, and these they have the main organ of the town district. Village government has board or trustees, mayor of a village president as it, its main organs. So they don't have uniform system of rural government as well as city government in USA. As we discussed in our last lecture that the powers of the states were decreased with the passage of time and powers of the federal government increased. Now we shall discuss the reasons for the decrease in powers of the state autonomy. The large freedom of action and scope of functions given to local authorities are the distinguishing characteristics of the American system of government. Yet it cannot be denied that federal government is thriving at the cost of state autonomy. The founding fathers envisaged a strong and autonomous states and delegated only a limited number of powers to the federal government in Article 1. They allowed the individual states to have their own constitutions, but the situation has changed beyond recognition. If we actually study the Constitution along with all the constitutional amendments and compare it with the actual working of the Constitution, we will be simply surprised to see a marked difference between constitutional provision and actual practice. There are many reasons for this gap between theory and practice in the working of federal system. As we used to hear that uh, what we uh, uh, what we learn in law colleges, that is theory, and when we go to in practice, there is something different what we have learned from the law colleges. Theory and practice are two different things in almost in all system of government. The founding fathers of the Constitution, they have intention to make state states more powerful, more stronger than the uh, federal government. That's why they have mentioned only limited powers and delegated powers to the federal government and left all remaining powers uh, for the states. But with the passage of time and with the practice of these powers, the states became more vulnerable in front of the federal government, and federal government used to increase its powers against the uh, state governments. So how the states uh, acquired, how the federal government acquired these powers from the constitutions which were not uh, which were not incorporated or mentioned in the constitution. The theory of employed powers has enabled the Supreme Court to interpret the constitution generally in favor of the federal government. The Supreme Court has tended to interpret the Constitution so that the federal government, which started with implied powers, has become the real national government. The American Constitution is a brief document, and many gaps have been left to be filled in according to changed conditions. Generally, these gaps have been filled in favor of the federal government. There are certain vague and unclear clauses in the Constitution. For example, the security of the state, integrity of the state, the general welfare of the people, etc. If you look at these three phrases, you cannot find a clear meaning from these phrases or sentences. So you have to be an institution to interpret these vague and unclear provisions of the Constitution, and that institution is Supreme Court of USA that interpreted these vague and unclear phrases and expected the implied meanings from these unclear clauses or provisions of the Constitution in favor of the federal government. The security of the state, sorry, these clauses are not specific or definite. Anything can be and has been done to fulfill these obligations. If you look at the general welfare of the people, so the federal government can make hospitals, the federal government can can introduce pension schemes for the old people, can introduce free education for the children and schoolgoing children and university students just by interpreting the general welfare of people's life. Even armed strength had been used to maintain the integrity of the state. The Supreme Court has generally given its verdict in favor of the federal government. The financial resources at the disposal of the federal government are immense, and it grants funds to the state governments will later depend upon the farmer for grants. This situation has helped in increasing the party of federal government. State governments have been willing parties to this fundamental change. International situation and a lurking fear of total war have also contributed to the strength of the central government. Above all, the suspicion which compelled the founding fathers to grant only limited powers to the federal government no longer exists. People have developed a sense of oneness and a feeling of nationalism is dominating the minds of the people. These factors have enabled the federal government to become fully a national government. When you suggest that the federal government has become a national government, it clearly means that the spirit of aloofness no longer exists. The demand of autonomy of the state is a thing of the past. People take pride in being a citizen of a great country, the USA. The constituent lunar states have receded into the background. In fact, the constitutional provisions are there, but their meaning and interpretation depend upon the people. The constitution is what the people accept it to be. They are the masters, and it is they who ordained and gave the constitution in the past, and again it is they who accept it as it stands today. State authority bound to erode in the wake of feelings of nationalism and oneness. तो जब ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया गया उस वक्त जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बनाने वाले थे उनकी ये इंटेंशन नहीं थी कि फेडरल गवर्नमेंट स्ट्रांग हो और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जो है वो वीक हो. उनकी इंटेंशन ये थी कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट स्ट्रांग हो, फेडरल गवर्नमेंट जो है वो एक वीक गवर्नमेंट होनी चाहिए. तो अगर आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर जो फेडरल गवर्नमेंट को पावर्स दी गई हैं उनको देखेंगे तो आपको यही फील होगा कि फेडरल गवर्नमेंट इज वीकर देन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, क्योंकि फेडरल गवर्नमेंट की पावर्स मेंशन कर दी गई हैं, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की पावर्स जो है वो मेंशन नहीं है. वो जो पावर्स फेडरल गवर्नमेंट के लिए मेंशन है और जो पावर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को फॉरवर्ड कर दी गई है, उनके अलावा बाकी सारी पावर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने एक्सरसाइज करनी है जो उसको बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाती है. लेकिन वक्त के साथ साथ जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर जो प्रोविजंस दी गई थी, जनरल वेलफेयर, सिक्योरिटी ऑफ द स्टेट, इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ द स्टेट, ये ऐसी जो चीजें थी इनको इंटरप्रेट किया सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इन फेवर ऑफ फेडरल गवर्नमेंट. और उसके बाद जो फेडरल गवर्नमेंट मजबूत होती गई वक्त के साथ साथ विद द इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन फेवर ऑफ फेडरल गवर्नमेंट. और उसके बाद वक्त के साथ साथ लोगों के अंदर ये एक ख्वाहिश पैदा हुई, उनका माइंड बन गया कि वी आर वन नेशन. तो वो जो सूबाइयत, वो जो एक हमारे मुल्क में है कि जी हम बलूची हैं, पंजाबी हैं या सिंधी हैं, ये चीज़ जो इस चीज़ ऐसी चीज़ों से वो निकल के وہ ایک قوم بننے کا ان کا مائنڈ، ان کی ایک خواہش تھی، تو لہٰذا اور اس کے بعد جو فیڈرل گورنمنٹ اسٹیٹ گورنمنٹس کو پیسہ دیتی ہے، گرانٹس دیتی ہے، اور جب وہ گرانٹ دیتی ہے تو فیڈرل گورنمنٹ ان سے ڈیمانڈ کرتی ہے کہ جو ہم آپ کو گرانٹ دے رہے ہیں یہ آپ ہماری ٹرمز اینڈ کنڈیشنز کے اوپر آپ اپنی اسٹیٹ کے اندر اس کو خرچ کریں گے. جیسے آئی ایم ایف اور ورلڈ بینک غریب ملکوں کو قرضہ دیتا ہے اور کہتا ہے کہ آپ ان ٹرمز ان کنڈیشنز کے اوپر یہ پیسہ خرچ کریں گے، اپنے جو آپ نے ترقیاتی جو پروجیکٹ لگانے ہیں ان پہ ایسے لگائیں گے، فلاں بندے رکھیں گے، فلاں کو نکالیں گے، اتنے سالوں میں یہ آپ نے کام کرنا ہے. تو اس طرح پیسہ لے کے غریب ملک ورلڈ بینک اور آئی ایم ایف کے ماتحت ہو جاتے ہیں. اسی طرح فیڈرل گورنمنٹ جو جب اسٹیٹ گورنمنٹ کو پیسہ دیتی ہے کہ آپ اپنی اسٹیٹس کے اندر ترقیاتی کام کروائیں، لیکن آپ نے ہماری فلاں فلاں جو کنڈیشن ہے، جو شرائط ہیں، ان کے مطابق کام کرنا ہے، تو اٹ مین اسٹیٹ گورنمنٹ جو ہے اپنی خود مختاری، اپنی اٹانومی جو ہے اس کو سرنڈر کرتی ہے ان فیور آف فیڈرل گورنمنٹ. اس چیز نے فیڈرل گورنمنٹ کو زیادہ طاقتور کر دیا ہے، پاورفل بنا دیا ہے، اور جو اسٹیٹس کے although states have their own constitutions, they have their own laws, لیکن اس سے ہوتے ہوئے بھی اب فیڈرل گورنمنٹ جو ہے وہ زیادہ مضبوط ہے، زیادہ پاورفل ہے than state governments, just because of the nationalism in the minds of people, the oneness in the minds of the people, the implied provisions in the constitution, those are interpreted in favor of the federal government by the Supreme Court. یہ ٹاپک آج ہمارا ختم ہو گیا. نیکسٹ انشاءاللہ کل ہوگی.